Hi, my name is Alfred,
And I'm Fabia.
and we're from People Just Like Us.
People Just Like Us is an organisation that believes in changing hearts to change policies. We support welcoming asylum seekers because they are people just like us. They have human rights. You don't have human rights just because you're Australian. You have human rights because you're human.
We recently did an interesting social experiment. We asked the general public about the recent High Court decision. We want to know what the public actually thinks about these things, and we were surprised by the responses. It's important to engage people in critical thinking. It's important to actually have a discussion with people in public, so let's check it out. With the recent High Court decision about sending back kids and women back to Nauru, what's your opinion on that?
Well, there's no reason why we shouldn't let women and children stay in our country if they're going to be safer here. You know, they're innocent people, young children going back to an environment like where they came from, to a beautiful country like this where we can take care of them. It doesn't make sense why we wouldn't, let them be free and let them be here.
It seems a little bit tough, in my opinion, without understanding obviously exactly what's going on there, which is also probably half the issue as well. The Australian government's clarity on what sort of processes they have in place. Having the proper protocol in place, I think, is very important to be able to filter through and let the genuine refugees that need assistance, to let them through.
I don't really know much about the topic.
Have you heard about Nauru?
No, not really.
Have you heard about asylum seekers?
Yes, I have.
What have you heard about them?
That they're put in kind of like camps, and that there's not very good conditions there, and there's lots of troubles with them coming from their country to different countries and stuff.
These people have already been through enough, and that we should be, as Australians, opening our arms and actually welcoming them and giving them support and including them and integrating them within our society. The fact that we're sending them back to Nauru and other detention centres and things like that, it's owned by a company called Transfield, and it's all run to a profit. So they run for billions of dollars. So it's actually just a total waste of money.
I've heard a little bit about it, but I'm not too sure about what's going on, to be honest.
What details do you know?
Literally nothing. I was in the shops before and I saw a headline on the newspaper and I briefly read it, but I was in a bit of a rush, so I don't know too much. Hearing and what you hear in the truth that often very, very different things when it comes to the media. So
Hasanthara Gunasekara, a paediatrician who was interviewed on the 7:30 report. I know him from having taught him at school, who has treated a number of these children that are in question. I am on his side totally. In the second stanza of our Australia national anthem, that run from those who come across the seas with boundless plains to share.
It saddens me because it's a very convenient decision. It helps the government implement a policy that quite a lot of Australians disagree with profoundly, and which goes against any notion of being hospitable or compassionate or tolerant. I like this country because it is a tolerant country, and it is a country which has opened its arms to refugees in the past and done so extraordinarily successfully.
I think it's not a good idea because there's no good thing about it, because sending them to Nauru, I'm not sure, it's not a good idea, Yeah.
And what would you say to Australian people and Australian politicians who support the idea of them being sent back to Nauru? What would you say about that?
They're not laying a good example, because taking them to Nauru they don't benefit anything from there. It's like like imprison them. Have a good rethink, to make a better life for them, because we are all humans.
I think it's very hypocritical of the Australian government to be thinking in those sort of ways. I would appeal to the Australian government to maybe embrace the diversity of the cultures here and go with that angle, as opposed to shutting the doors. And
What's wrong with you, to be honest? They're people too, and I don't understand why you view it that way, because if someone said to you, we're not going to let you come and be free and, feel safe in our environment just because you're not from here, or whatever your views may be, it's just not fair. And, you've got to think, if you were in that situation, how would you like to be treated, essentially?
Think more deeply, think more humanely. I would hope that our policy follows the direction of that sympathy.
Some people think that's the best decision, and that's up to them. But if there is proven abuse and these conditions are proven to be bad, and people know about it and they're choosing to send these people back there, then obviously that's wrong. But I don't know, I guess it's hard to tell really.
That's disgusting. I'd say actually critically engage and think about what you're doing to another human being, and then if you have any empathy or compassion, then you'll change your mind.
This is a decision that I would disagree with completely. I trusted you to look towards the higher qualities.
If there's bad conditions there from what these people, like what's there, then I guess it's probably not good for them to be sent back. It'd be better for them here.